Right, here's me trying to show you how to use Google Earth. So Google Earth is a GIS, a Geographic Information System. Why is it a GIS? Well, a GIS simply just needs different layers. So down on the left hand side down here, you've got a series of different layers which you can tick on and off. So as soon as you tick a layer on, a layer's worth of information comes on. Those with the little triangle to the left of them mean that they've got subdivisions in here. So Google Earth's new photos layer, for example, can be found on here. Just click a photo and it'll pop up with some more information about where it is. So for the moment I'm just going to get rid of the photos because I don't want them, and I'll get rid of the roads as well. So how do we add things into Google Earth? Well, let's go to Cambridge as our location, and if I'm going to add a placemark, like this placemark here for Cambridge, a spot location. So let's go to Downhill Road to go to school, and let's say we wanted to mark a placemark for school. So I click this button up here, add a placemark, and you see that a standard default yellow pin appears in the middle of your screen. If you click on the yellow pin, you can move it around. So I could stick it on the most important part of the school, the geography department, and I can change the label up here and rename it as I choose. Now I decide that I don't particularly like the yellow label. I can pick anything that's on here, and perhaps as it's geography department, I decide I'm going to stick a volcano on it for some reason. I can change the colour, I can change the opacity of it, I can make it bigger or smaller if I want to. If I'm really fussing around, then I can add custom icons to them as well. So just click OK on that. If I want to, I can add a description into that department, the geography department label. So here is the Perth School Geography Department. And if I click OK on that, I've now got my label that's on here. So my label appears in the bit that's called Places over on the left, over here. And I can see here what I've labelled it as, the icon, and my comments. So if I clicked on this later on, there'd be the comments that I wrote in there. And you can make this box in here increasingly sophisticated if you want to by adding text or photos or anything you want to into that bit. If you want to later move an object, or you decide that it's in the wrong place, so perhaps I zoom in a little bit and decide, actually I'd like this as the geography office, not the geography department, and the office is up in this northeast corner over here. Quite simply, I go to my my place over here. I right click, go to properties, and when I've got onto the properties page, I can rename it. So here I'll change it to geography office. And then once this yellow square's around the outside, I can just left click in the middle and drag it to where I want to. And I can change things again if I want to, and perhaps geography office, we feel like a bit like a tourist information centre at times. I put an I instead of a volcano, and I can edit on there. So how do I then go about saving this? Well, what I want to do in my places is add a folder, and I'm going to label my folder geography example, and much like folders when you open up Windows Explorer, I can just drag and drop documents into there. So geography office is now in the geography example folder, so when I click the whole folder, the geography office label now will disappear. When I stick it back on, it will reappear as a new label on here. So how do I go about saving that? Well, quite simply right click, save place as, and I'm going to stick it in my documents at the moment. I'll call it geography example, and it's saved as a KMZ file, which is the Google Earth language keyhole markup file, and I can save it in there. And I could send that document, as I could do a Word document, an Excel file, around to people, reopen it on different computers as I choose. Let's open this one.